Hello everyone, and welcome to DrakeMakes. I'm back. A few months ago, I started making a little horror game in a rundown facility, heavily inspired by Portal and Half-Life in terms of tone and environment design. I was using this all as an excuse to learn, as I said in the first video, a proof of concept if you will. But the project has built an accidental hype train. Making a horror game is pretty on theme for October, so I guess I should keep working on this. Today we're going to make some levels with some new assets while also using the free pack horror engine so we can have some actual functionality in the game. Let's roll. So what is Horror Engine? Horror Engine is free on the Unreal Engine marketplace and comes with a ton of functionality for horror game development. Flashlights, doors, cameras, inventory systems, event triggers, and much, much more. Loading up the template scene, I was accosted by a disembodied voice.
Welcome to Horror Engine.
And kind of overwhelmed by all the options. In this video, I end up using interactive doors, locks and keys, and some ladders. As per usual though, the documentation on how to actually use this is either incredibly poor or I just don't know where to look. My initial intention was to migrate the level we'd already been working on into Horror Engine so as to use this more advanced system, but that just flat out didn't work, so instead I started a new level. I spent the first day this week building out a similar scene as to the previous project, but with finer detail now that I really know what I'm going for. I enabled lumen and ray tracing in the project settings and placed down a basic lighting setup. Here, in this flat scene, I messed around with some of the basic functionality of Horror Engine, and for the most part, it's as easy as drag and drop. You're able to easily parent keys to doors and set up event triggers, more on all of this later. Using the modeling tools in PolyEdit, I extrude walls. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you probably recognize this process. I first build one section of wall to completion and then copy and paste it around to create hallways and rooms. I've gotten some questions about how I cut out door holes. This is achieved with the Boolean tool, in which I stretch a cube to roughly the size of the door and use it essentially as a cookie cutter to open up the doorways. Considering the many different interactables now available through Horror Engine, an entirely new layer has been added to the thought process of guiding a player through a level. There's a lot of customization too. Underneath the door blueprints, for example, you can adjust if the door is locked or unlocked, as well as the option to include a slide lock. This also opens up the potential of doors needing specific keys. I'm intentionally placing the slide locks on the wrong side of the doors, as if the people who worked in this facility were locked in. With some rooms built, I make use of the industrial area pack and the apartment tech props. These asset packs get used in basically everything I make for some reason, but they're really versatile and make for some good looking scenes. Also similar to last time, I use the foliage tools to scatter around some concrete rubble. Horror Engine, instead of spawning with a flashlight like in the previous build, you're actually going to have to pick one up. So for now, it's going to sit on this table. By creating the project in the Horror Engine template, this all pretty much works by default. Like last time, I placed some cylindrical fog volumes from Fluid Ninja VFX to create some atmosphere in the scene. Pretty much any time I placed a light, I also placed one of the volumes. By the end of day one, we'd built a new and improved hallway. Horror Engine's blueprint assets come with some stock sounds too, automatically adding to the ambiance. Creaking doors, the droning humbuzz of fluorescent lights. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. So with day 2, I returned to add more to the scene, starting with this little computer lab. As if it were a sign to keep working on this project, this month's free assets included the 4-in-1 modular Research Facility Megabundle with over 797 meshes. Bro, this gets me so amped. I don't think I could have asked for a better or more inspiring selection of assets to expand the facility. Perfectly on theme. Here begins work on another access hallway, which is going to lead to the main research center. A lot of my time was spent just organizing these pipes and keeping them all in line. I discover some interactable cabinets, so I go back and add them everywhere. And then back to the hall. The hallway nearing completion, I added a locked door to the end. Then, by adding in a key blueprint hidden in one of the rooms, I'm able to parent the key to the door. This all just works. Picking up the key with left mouse button, it's added to your inventory, and then at the door, by using right mouse button, you can access your inventory and use the item, reminiscent of something like Resident Evil. I'll demonstrate all of this at the end of the video. The first hall is designed to set up the game mechanics. In order to get through the door, you need the key, but since the key is enveloped in darkness, you first need to find the flashlight. This way, hopefully, players can be guided through levels without text. Further expanding the level, I added in another small hall with connecting rooms before opening up to a large main room, meant to house some crazy experiments. Let it be known, I make this up as I go. large room, I built these rectangular glass demonstration areas using the research facility assets to create different procedures on display. Every detail I'm adding, I attempted to bring about with intention. Because of the wide selection of assets available, I'm able to focus on actually being in the environment as it is made. By imagining yourself in your scene, you can begin to understand how the space would naturally be used, and you can use this to tell stories visually. And so, using a bunch of these medical supplies assets, I'm able to quickly create these little research scenes. Throwing down some chairs for the would-be observers. These are all pulled from the Megascans library. And then some railings up top. I think this is my favorite part of the build, just looking at a scene, the empty shell of a space, and then starting to decorate like this. Here's just an MRI machine, because why not? Engine has some ladder blueprints which I set up along this scaffolding so the character can go up and down. This is going to introduce some verticality to the levels, and I can already think of a lot of different ways I could take this. Now I start working on a little like reception or sitting area. A lot of this is just informed by the assets I have available. Since everything I'm working with is modular, it's easy to expand the facility, which I intend to keep doing. As I continue, the areas will be fleshed out to serve whatever story culminates. Now just to seal off the room, and that is what I got done this week. So without further ado, here's a quick playthrough of this eerie walking simulator I've put together. thank you for watching, and thank you for all the support with this little project. It's been incredibly exciting to work on, and the positive reactions and engagement I've seen has really meant a lot. I am humbled by the growth of the channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you did, and I will see you next time.